Erol, hi.
Hi, Gugu.
It's so good to have this side chat with you today. Just wanted to, we've been invested, WIPHOLD has been invested in Sasfin for over 7 years now. It's been a good 7 years for us being part of the Sasfin family. We call it the Sasfin family because we, as WIPHOLD, we call ourselves a WIPHOLD family. And we have so much in common with Sasfin. But today I'd like us to focus mainly on Sasfin Wealth. And Sasfin Wealth is over 25 years. If you can share with us the journey, your 25-year journey as Sasfin Wealth.
The whole story goes back much further. So, our roots are with a business called Frankel Pollock, which I think is one of the oldest stockbroking licenses in the country, started somewhere in 1890, whatever the case might be. But I think for the purpose of our story, absolutely. Sasfin bought Sasfin Wealth, or Frankel Pollock in those days, before it became Sasfin Wealth, in the late 1990s, early 2000s, sort of around the same time that it got the banking license. And really, I think, if you go back those 25 odd years, as you say, what the business really was a private client stockbroker, very much focused on the JSE and equities as well. So not that diverse, maybe a little bit of fixed income, etc., but mainly a JSE equities focused business. I think over time the business evolved so much. I think one of the first big shifts in the business was that it shifted from being purely JSE focused to being globally focused in the way that money was managed, particularly in the private client business, where we started investing clients' money offshore as well, and looking at those offshore companies. We probably we're more than 15 years down that journey, and at the time that we started doing that, it wasn't that common, and we had a lot to learn. And when I say we, not me, I wasn't here yet, but our portfolio managers, many of whom are still part of the business, had to go out. They had to find research, they had to learn about these businesses, they had to start investing, and it's been a great success story for our private client business. Today we manage much more money for clients offshore than we do onshore, and when we think about their portfolios, we think about it in global terms. The other big evolution in our business has been our venture institutional market. So we had an asset consulting business for a long period of time, but through that we launched an asset manager. It was quite a difficult thing to get started in, but I'd say for the last 7 to 8 years, we've really seen that business starting to hit its stride. 7-8 years ago, we were a sub 5 billion rand asset management business. We had less than 4 billion in our consulting business. If you put the assets of our consulting and our asset manager together, we're in excess of a 30 billion rand institutional business today, and the asset manager in particular has been very successful and mostly focused within fixed income. We've continued to grow the asset consulting business. It does stand completely independently of our asset manager. Very importantly, more than half of the assets that we consult to, we don't manage at all. And then there've been other great things that have grown out. We've got a great healthcare consulting business, and about a decade ago, we also brought on a team of fixed income specialists in the institutional market, but sell side, focused on broking, and amazing team, have been together for many decades. We've had this evolution from a JSE focused local stockbroker to a well diversified wealth and asset management business, providing a range of advisory, broking and management services to both private clients and institutions, or actually corporates as well.
Yeah. No, that's amazing to have accomplished that in these few years, just showing the focus that you've had in your business, and some of it has been well recognized as well in your hat trick with the Bull,
Raging Bulls,
the Raging Bull Awards. That must have been an incredible achievement in a well-established industry. Tell me more about that.
We have won many awards for many of our different funds over time. Our private client business also been recognized in the SA Best Stockbroker Awards and a number of other things. Look, we certainly are not in the business to win awards, but it's always nice to get the recognition from your peers and from the industry. So yes, it really has been a great story.
Performance has been recognized, right?
Correct, absolutely. And performance gets recognized in different ways. Some of it is straight performance, some of it's on a risk-adjusted basis. But I do also think what's very important is that you can't just sell performance, right? You're selling much more than performance. You're selling a trusted relationship. You're selling a process. The reality is that any investment strategy at some point in the cycle is going to underperform for a period of time. But as long as you stick to your process and stick to your investment mandate and stick to your strategy over the long term, you will outperform for clients. So, I think that's really what we focus on. Those long-term relationships are really, really important. Investment is a long game. It's a long-term game, right? We're not speculators. We're not traders. It's a long-term game. And I think one of the things that has underpinned the success of our business is we've got multi-generational relationships with many clients over many decades. And we have people in our business that have been here for many decades. I think, some of the retirements that we've had in the last few years, we've had someone that retired after 45 years in the business. Another person was with the business for over 30 years. So, that kind of long tenure of people and long tenure of clients, I think, is what gives you the longevity of the business, which is an exceptionally important sort of cornerstone of what we do.
Yeah. It's interesting that in our board meeting at Sasfin Wealth, mining companies have a safety minute in the beginning of the meeting. We have our safety minute is how our clients doing, how's the relationship with our clients, are we treating our clients fairly. That focus on clients, it's paramount to Sasfin. I think you leave in terms of are you delivering to your client. Just tell me more about Sasfin's philosophy around clients and relationships. As you say, performance is not the only game changer. It's much more than that.
I think one of the things that has always resonated with me being in this kind of business is the absolute alignment that you have with your clients. Ultimately, if you do well by your clients, if you service them well, and if they meet their investment objectives, then you do well as a business. You're completely aligned. If their wealth grows, your revenue grows, your profits grow. So those long-term relationships and taking a long-term view and servicing clients in a way that you are aligning interests means that you're going to treat them fairly, and that their success is your success. And it's not every industry is like that. I think we're one of the few, and there are obviously lots of pockets in financial services that have a bad reputation for overcharging clients, whatever the case might be. But I think we definitely live by the philosophy of treating clients fairly and making sure that we align our interests with those of our clients.
Yeah. Oh, great. And any business can't succeed without its key assets, which is its employees as well. I've seen the Sasfin graduate program and how you home grow your own talent. If you can tell me more about how it works, what keeps them here and what makes them excited about being part of the Sasfin Wealth family.
Sure. Good. I think that's an excellent way to frame it. Our biggest asset are people, especially in this kind of business. We just spoke about relationships a while ago, and as I said, these are multi-generational, multi-decade relationships, and the long tenure of people. And absolutely, everything in our business is underpinned by attracting and retaining some of the top talent in the industry. And it has to be across disciplines, right? It's not just about the investment professionals. It's across the business. It's about the information technology that we need, the operational capability that we need. The regulatory environments become incredibly complicated. You need so many qualified people to deliver what we deliver, and we don't make anything tangible. We don't make paper clips or air conditioners or anything else. Everything we do is based on a relationship and us delivering a service. So yes, definitely our people, and we've continued to attract and retain some of the best people in the industry, and the longevity. And I think it talks to the culture that we have. We celebrate people, we celebrate success, and thank you for bringing up the graduate program. We're very proud of our graduate program. We bring in a number of graduates every year. Over the last at least 5 years, we've had at Sasfin Wealth close to 100% permanent placement of all of our graduates. And in the last 12 to 18 months, we've had the natural attrition that you have with staff. We say we've got the longevity, of course, but there is still the natural attrition. We've had people that have decided to retire. We've had people who have decided to emigrate, people who have decided to move on. And in 100% of the cases where we've had a senior position that's either been created or been made available has been an internal promotion. The ability for us to promote from within, and it's not always going to be possible, but it's a very important indicator of success in terms of our people and culture strategy. If you're able to attract people, nurture them, develop them, and ultimately give them a career path, and be able to promote them, and I can assure you that no one in Sasfin Wealth holds a position for any other reason than merit. We have got exceptional people from a diverse set of backgrounds, cultures, religions, you name it. We really have built a lot of diversity into our business, and with that comes different ways of thinking about the world and about business and about clients.
So Erol, we've just closed the year 30 June 2024. Looks like it's been an incredible year. Very excited as a shareholder to see these good results. If you can tell us more about the year that has been.
FY24 has been our strongest year ever financially for Sasfin Wealth. We have been on a multi-year growth trajectory, as we've built out the business. We were talking earlier in terms of diversifying into other areas and building out our global capability as well. I think, if I think about the main drivers for FY24 in particular, definitely continuing to expand our global offering and taking that out to the private client market has been a massive driver. We've now exceeded 20 billion rand in assets under management for direct global portfolios. We manage more than that, through some of our sort of what's called the Reg 28 portfolios and funds and other vehicles. But this is just clients directly taking money offshore, which makes up, roughly almost a third of our total assets under advice and management. So that's definitely been a massive driver, a massive success factor, and we've continued to build on that as we think of our clients as global investors. We've also seen some great success from our asset manager. We had many years of growth. I think this year has been a year of a bit of consolidation as we refine our strategy and our focus. We're certainly seeing some strong demand coming through for our income franchise. And as you well know, we've been very focused over the last few years in taking our asset manager, and particularly our income franchise, from a retail-focused strategy to attracting more and more institutional investors. And we're definitely starting to see some good traction, some good success in that space. And that market is cyclical. I think, the space that we've been in, the income space, for the first half of the financial year was not performing as well as some other areas in the market. When you have that, you've got a bit of sector rotation, a few things are gone, but we've definitely seen that shift again. And in particular, since the forming of our new government of national unity. Yeah. We've seen the rand strengthen, we've seen bond yields rally, and the way that we've been positioned as a business has been really good for that. So some really good demand coming through there. And just to also say that while we take this global and offshore focus for our private client business, we are very much a locally focused asset management business. We're still relatively small, despite the great success and growth that we've had. In the greater scheme of things, we're still small, and we think that there are huge opportunities for us to continue to take these solutions out to market. And we've made a deep investment in people in this space. We've brought on senior asset managers to join our already strong team. We've brought on strong skills in terms of credit analysis and many other things. So we are very happy to make a long-term investment in this business, and we know that it's not all going to be in a straight line, but that we are gearing up for this market and this opportunity.
WIPHOLD is a women empowerment company. We're dedicated to women, and one of the ways that we contribute towards that is to ensure that women are empowered financially. If you can just share the role that Sasfin Wealth is playing in around women empowerment as a whole.
Yes, Gugu, I think it probably ties back to what we were talking about earlier, we were talking about people and our graduate programs and our development and promotions, etc., and the diversity that we've built into that. Included in that diversity is obviously gender diversity as well. And 3 of our 4 or 5, I think, promotions in the last 12 months have all been women. And I think what's important about that is when you talk about bringing on more diverse clients, including diversity in terms of gender, it's about creating the comfort of the environment and the relationship that you're dealing with. And I think, by having the diversity across genders, within our teams and within our senior teams, makes us much more approachable. I believe that diversity in a business is very powerful, and I also think that for clients, dealing with a diverse team is a lot more comfortable, and it attracts a diverse range of clients, including, once again, gender diversity. So I think by making sure that we are inclusive in terms of our senior professionals within our business, that in and of itself should translate over time into the diversity of our client base and the empowerment of everybody involved. We've been running our Money is More Than Money campaign, and last month was Women's Month. So we've been doing this with Apollo Marco. She's been running a series for our Money is More Than Money campaign, interviewing various people. But for Women's Month, we only interviewed women to tell us their money stories. So it's also about taking people's stories, success stories, and making that translatable and taking it out there. Allowing people that have their own story to tell in a way that is relatable to the audience to tell that story, because I think the more we talk about it, the more inclusive we become as a society.
So Sasfin has made inroads into the private market. If you can just share with me how you've approached it and what Sasfin is doing around the private market space.
We have been a traditional investment house, and that's where our roots are, and that's where we spend most of our time. But there's definitely been a shift over many years into more private markets spaces. We've seen a decline globally in the number of listed companies, and so to give a broader range of investment opportunities to clients, we need to look to private markets. I think we think about our private client business and our institutional business very differently in this respect. For private clients, it's about how do we give our clients access to private companies through a private equity structure or whatever it might be, but in a way that they aren't locked into that investment for 7 years or 10 years, because typically that's how private equity works. It's a big investment and it's a long lockup period. So we've partnered with others in the industry to bring a product to our private clients, which gives them access to global and local private equity opportunities, but in a way that they also have the liquidity. So they are able to trade in and out of these positions. They don't have to make a 7-year commitment, but they can get access to this asset class. I think the problem statement on the institutional side was quite different. We are a purpose-led organization, and it's very important to us that we are having an impact on society. So we really thought about what our opportunities are in that space. So we partnered with a business called RBN Fund Managers, and we already announced this last year, so this isn't new to you or to anybody else, that we had won a grant from Jobs Fund, which we've used as a guarantee to raise additional institutional money to lend to small to medium enterprises in the market, to provide essentially private credit to those entities to help them grow. But what's unique about what we've done is that there is a job component to every loan that we advance. So any company that we're lending to has to use that money for growth, has to use that money to create jobs, and those jobs get measured, they get audited, they get reported back to National Treasury's Jobs Fund. And because of this support from National Treasury's Jobs Fund, it means that we're able to provide our institutional clients with an appropriate risk-adjusted return while still being able to put this jobs mandate in place. So to date, it's really early days. We launched during FY24. We've dispersed our first number of loans, and thus far we've created 222 jobs, but it's very early days. We've got a strong pipeline, and with that we're aiming to do, I think by the I think our target is around the middle of next year to the end of next year, we need to generate somewhere between 1,300 and 1,500 jobs through this initiative. So we're very excited about it. It's very much a proof of concept at this stage, but we believe that this is going to be a big and important part of our business going forward.
So Erol, you mentioned that Sasfin Wealth is a purpose-led organization and one that always strives to have impact on society. And what I've seen and has been incredibly impressive is how that also filters all the way down to your employees, where they actually get personally involved in some of your initiatives. So if you can just tell me more about the impact that you have on society through the initiatives that you run.
No, thanks, Gugu. Yes, so we have a number of corporate and social responsibility or CSR partners in our business that we support. And we run a number of sponsorship events or help them with events or fundraising or whatever the case might be. And if someone wants to see more about the people that the organisations we're involved in, it's all on our website. But I think what has been incredible for me through this journey with our partners is, as a business we can provide money or run events or do whatever the case might be, but so many of our people across our business have given of their time to support these initiatives. These are people on a voluntary basis giving of their own time, going into these CSR partners, bringing their expertise and helping them to achieve certain goals. One of them might be, or an example is, we help one of our CSR partners with certain accreditations that they required. Now that they have those accreditations, they're able to raise a lot more money from funders who require those accreditations to be able to provide the funding. So just people giving of themselves, our employees, it's been really humbling, and we have an incredibly strong relationship with our partners, and we certainly look forward to supporting this in the future.
Well, that's wonderful. Our excitement about Sasfin Wealth in particular has been demonstrated through our direct investment that we intend making in Sasfin Wealth, and excited to be also partnering with management, where management will be staked alongside us, and ensuring that the good work that you've been doing carries on. And we're looking forward to a journey with you for years to come. And if you can just say, tell me about what's exciting, what's there to look forward to in our partnership going forward.
Well, firstly, we're very excited about WIPHOLD continuing to support and back us. The long history and the pedigree that WIPHOLD has, particularly in our industry, WIPHOLD's had great success within the wealth and asset management space over many years. So, WIPHOLD comes with a lot of wisdom and a lot of expertise, which has been very valuable to us on our board in terms of our strategic thinking and planning. And we're exceptionally grateful for the amazing shareholders and supporters that you've been. I think for us, we've been talking about all of our success, but it hasn't all been a smooth ride, and everything hasn't been easy. We've got our group, which is going through a major strategic reset, which impacts the entire business, is very necessary. But I really feel that the foundation that we've laid over a number of years is setting us up for future success, both in terms of the private client as well as the institutional space. And I think, for us, it's about not trying to do too much. Stick to the things that we're good at, continue to build on the areas where we have the core competencies, where we have a competitive advantage, and where we can show differentiation. I think just trying to do everything that everybody else does, this is a highly competitive environment. You have to be able to differentiate yourself, and then most importantly is to make sure that we continue with the longevity and the long-term relationships with people and clients. People, I'm talking about our employees, our stakeholders, our shareholders, everybody who's part of that ecosystem, including our clients, because I truly believe that is the secret to success in this industry. You have to think long-term. You have to think long-term in terms of stakeholders, you need to think long-term in the way that you invest, and that translates into long-term success.